Hi, I'm Miguel Cansing,
And I'm James Gutierrez.
and welcome to TNT Fightcast.
Woo! Episode. What episode are we on now? This is 2?
Episode 2, bro.
Episode 2.
We made it.
We are making
So, you cold, bro?
a little bit. I wanted to change it up. I want to change it up. Shout out to Uniqlo. Uniqlo for this amazing. They're not a sponsor yet, but I love Uniqlo. Even if whether or not they sponsor us, Uniqlo all the way. Most of my outfits are Uniqlo. That's a little side. I'm sorry, Miguel. Hello again.
Hello. So, long time no see, James.
It has been a while.
So, we've gotten a lot of questions recently about how to join TNT Fight, and I think today we can talk about that.
Yes, it is. It's made me realize that maybe I need a second Facebook account to course all of the inquiries through because it's on my main account. Oh, that is But the way that we are, I guess, to address this rather, it starts with messaging the page. Like, please,
Message the page.
all inquiries directly through the TNT Fight Facebook page. Thank you. No, but that's where it starts. Because we have some things that we're looking for. We will review anybody. Will you get a fight? Not necessarily, but we will review all fighters. And I do go through all of the fighters. Some fighters I have fights for right away because it lines up with what I'm trying to do. Some fighters I don't have something for them. Either they don't have, they're not in the right weight class that I'm looking for, or it just doesn't fit within the card, etc. So we need to have everyone just kind of funnel through it. We're a lean team, right? If you funnel it through our Facebook page, you'll get the responses quicker. But yeah, I would say that if you're trying to fight for TNT, then what you need to do is make sure that you fill out our. It's like a fighter info sheet, basically.
Yeah.
It has all of the, how we can get in touch with you, what's your record, etc., and videos, fight footage, please.
We need to verify your records, guys.
I need to see your fights.
You got to see how you perform. We got to see how you fight.
Because I'll just put it out there. If you give me a record, I can't verify that. I can't say that you're a skilled fighter. I don't know who you fought. I don't know how you fought. So please, it makes the process a lot easier if you send me some footage.
Yeah.
And I like watching it. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah. And then from there, it's the waiting game. We can only have a total of 20 fighters on a card. 10 bouts, 20 fighters out of hundreds of fighters that are vying for spots.
There are a lot of fighters in the Philippines.
There are a lot of fighters in the
Yeah.
Philippines, and thank you to all of the fighters who have submitted their profiles. We've had an amazing response from people who want a chance to fight in the TNT ring.
And to add to that, the way we build our roster is first we have to make sure that, of course, you can fight. And if you don't have any professional fights, you can go through our amateur program. See, James, I think that we have to explain to the fans that our fight card is broken up into 2.
Yes.
We have the preliminary card. These are the first 4 fights of the night, and in the preliminary card, we feature our amateurs. Okay, our amateurs have to work their way up in the card, and once they gain at least 3 fights, or if they've had previous fights and they're, I would say, at the level that we can really determine if they're ready for the pros, we give them the featured amateur slot. But otherwise, you got to fight 3 times. When we see that you're ready, we'll make you a featured amateur, and from there, James makes the call if you're going to get the pro contract. So, James, can you tell us more about the amateur leagues that we're going through and we're building?
I love how we came up with this one. It's so, there are already fighters who are, professional, and they would fight professional in our league. But we are giving amateurs a opportunity to fight under the lights when they probably don't. A lot of amateurs don't get that opportunity. Just not even a featured prelim or anything, but just the way that we conduct our events, to be an amateur with 1 or 2 fights, they don't really get that often. And I'm super excited about putting that together. But when we look at what I'm looking for, I'm gonna backtrack and ask you to ask your question again. I totally spaced out on your question. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying. I was like, can I pull it out of my ass again? Nope, couldn't do it on this one, man. Wait,
It's
sorry.
all good. No, I just wanted to ask you what your mindset was like when you were building the amateur cards. But I think that we can assume that it's really about answering the question of whether this guy can fight, and of course, if
Yeah.
they can be professional. They have to show us
yes.
that they are professional.
Correct.
You know, because when you are a professional fighter, you have obligations.
Exactly. There's a
And
contract.
at the amateur level, if you are hard to work with, then it's not a good look for you. It doesn't. It's not gonna bode well for you, especially if you are trying to be an actual professional fighter.
Exactly.
Okay?
I mean, to put it bluntly, we're not looking for. We don't want any divas. Like, I'm
Yes.
sorry, we don't want any divas. It's like you come and respect us, and we will respect you. We
Yes.
will start with respect, and we expect respect. We expect respect back.
Yes.
That's a tongue twister right there.
Yes, that's right.
But I mean, like, it goes back to the kind of fighters that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, as in, you said it. Can they fight? Number one. If you can fight, we will find a fight for you. When it happens, can't guarantee that, but if we want to highlight all fighters. And then from there, can you abide by what we're trying to put together with TNT? Like, we want to have a certain level of professionalism because that's what it takes to have a production, a promotion like TNT. You have to be able to operate on that level. And we want our amateurs to do that as well. Like, if they can show signs that they can operate on that level, then they do get that featured prelim spot. And if they do well in that featured prelim, then they'll see a potential pro fight. Like, if you get that win, I mean, like, I don't want to say that this is the hard line requirement. There are other factors. But if you come up through the ranks, you have the featured prelim, and then you do well on that fight, then yeah, you'll get a pro nod. I mean, look at Lucian.
Yeah, that
Look-
guy started in the amateurs. He actually had a bunch of amateur fights.
Yeah.
And he was still game to show us that he could fight as an amateur.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for him because, when I studied this record, I saw that, maybe he was on the cusp of being a pro and he's had years of experience, but he still wanted to show us before anything that, he can put up a good fight. And he fought someone that was 7 kilos heavier than him.
No, it was more than that. Like,
More.
because it was an amateur bout. So because there's a discrepancy, you can have a discrepancy in weight as long as both fighters agree. Like I said, if they both game to fight, then puede pa.
Yeah.
And I think it was, I want to say it was like close to 10 kilos. But he stepped up.
He stepped
he
up.
took the fight, and and he won. Unanimous
won.
decision. It was a good fight. And then he got the pro nod for TNT 2. Dominant fashion, got a first round TKO. So I definitely want to bring him back. I definitely have some good fights lined or in mind, I would say. But it goes back to like the kind of fighters. Like, I don't want to just single out Lucian or anything like that. What we're looking for in a fighter is someone who will put the same care into their craft and everything that we put into putting together an event.
I agree, bro.
Like, that would be, I guess if I was going to sum it up, that would be it.
And for the fighters out there, I think that the experience with us, it's something different. It's not
Yes.
what you would usually experience coming up from the scene. I think that
Yeah, you can speak better on that because, like, I mean, again, like, this is all I've known. How we do it here, and I'm like, oh, you guys don't do that? Oh, what?
all I can say is we put in the best effort we possibly can. So we expect the same from our fighters, of course.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get the nod from us, we're gonna make sure that we give you the schedules way in advance.
Yep.
So one thing we want to avoid is for last minute changes, and we do that by letting you know early. If you want to fight for TNT, you follow the schedule.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
That includes the video shoots for those who are fighting in the main card and co-main in the main event. I'm sorry, and the co-main event. The photo shoots, which is for everybody, of course, the weigh-ins, and the press con. So when you're a professional fighter, you are responsible for all of these things.
Correct.
That's in addition to your training, your licensing requirements. You also have to, you also have to hype the show.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of your job. So, again, we give our fighters the best experience. So we expect them to return the favor to us by being professional, and fighting really well. I think the fighters right now, what they really appreciate about TNT is that we do our best to make it convenient for them.
Oh, yeah.
We help them out.
For sure.
We
For
help them out. We understand that fighters come from everywhere. So at the very least,
Exactly.
we give them time to prepare. If they are gonna come from a long commute, we tell them way in advance so that they can make the necessary arrangements.
Correct.
And also we talk to the people in the gap for them, for the pros, for their licenses, and for the amateurs. We are completely transparent with them from
Exactly.
day one. So once they get the nod, the contract is signed. James, can you tell us the next few steps and what they go through before they step into the ring?
Oh, after that, so once we get the official bout agreement all sorted out, we work on those schedules that you talked about.
Yeah.
So we have marketing responsibilities because we gotta sell tickets. Like we're putting on a show, and they are fighting. They are getting compensated for the fights, but they also, we are hyping up their fights. So we want to make sure they are in the best possible light. That's why we have the photo shoots.
Yeah.
We have to get ready for those things. Like we have to, again, it goes back to the trailers that we talked about as well. The trailers are so much fun to shoot, but all of those things need to happen. And I'll go full circle. Now we're connecting to how the prod works and how we start to market when we're leading up to events. But I digress. I'm going off in a tangent right now. I am going way. It goes back to after that, fighter signs their contract. It's a official bout agreement. We have a code of conduct as well.
Oh, yes.
We have a code of conduct that we have all of our fighters sign just because, again, if you're fighting for TNT, we want you to, I guess, hold yourself to a certain standard that we would hold ourselves to as well as part of this promotion. Like we operate this way. If you are going to fight on our promotion or in our promotion, we want you to operate this. And it's not like it's crazy like we're saying you have to do this, that, this. But it's a lot of common sense, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, dude, come on, man. Oh, James, ano yan? Naghanap ka ba ng away?
Well, our segue to our hot take segment. No, I was thinking about this. So my hot take for this is going to be a spicy one. So, as you know, and we've discussed this. I've talked to people about this. We're not going to be doing any belts in TNT anytime soon because we want, personally, I think their fighters need to build a record in the promotion. We need to have a proper ranking, and then it would be these are the two best fighters in this division, and they're going to get a belt. They're going to fight for the belt. So my hot take is, I don't think it's a good idea to give out belts early on in a promotion's like if there's their first fight and they're fighting for the championship belt, it diminishes the quality of the belt.
Yeah.
It's not it doesn't mean as much.
Dude, it's weird to have a 1-0 champion.
Yeah.
It's weird.
There you go.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
If you're 1-0 or 2-0 and you're champion, what does that say about the belt?
That's my hot take.
Okay, back to the experience. So James, after they sign the contract and we've ironed those things out, what's next for them?
Yeah, so they go through the motions of our photo shoots that we would have, any other, like the press conference, for example. Usually it's the main event, co-main, and select fighters from the card. And from there, they have to pretty much focus on making weight. Two things. They need to focus on making weight, and if they don't already have a license, they need to make sure that they get their license. Going back to how we support the fighters, we make sure that we spell things out for them. We help. We're happy to help because they are part of the show. So that license requirement to put on a professional event, we want to help them take care of it. Like, and we go as far as to, for the license fee, first time fighters, we'll pay your license fee. We'll pay your license fee. Your license fee. Just the fee for the license. I want to make that very clear. Very clear.
Yes.
But we will, like, we're working on things. We know that it's difficult for fighters to go through these processes. So that's what a fighter can expect if they're going to be fighting under our banner, that we take care of our fighters. I think it's the best way to put it.
I think so too. And what's a promotion without its fighters, right?
Yeah.
So,
you need each other.
Yeah.
You can't have a promotion without the fighters, and you can't have, and the fighters need the promotion to fight.
Yeah.
Like, where else are they gonna it's got to be give and take.
That's true. That's true. So, again, that's why we said earlier that we expect professionalism from our fighters, because, again, we do our best for them. And guys, when there's a photo shoot, we actually tell you what time to go way in advance. Like,
no excuses.
No excuses. Like, for us, if we tell you 5 days ahead, to us, that's already us rushing.
Yeah. But then after the license, I mean, like, because if they're fighting pro, they need to get the license, and then they just have to really make weight. Like, as in, if you're fighting pro and you don't make weight, then you're not fighting.
Yeah.
Like that's just it. Like, as in, amateurs, we could, it's different. But if it's a professional fight, if you're way off, then we can't have that fight, and then you now are not going to be able to honor your contractual obligation to fight on our card, and then that's a whole different thing. But that's how we make sure that we explain those things too, because we don't want any of the fighters to get blindsided. This is how the business operates, so we're going to show and tell all of the fighters how the business operates.
I remember in the first event, a bout was canceled. You remember that?
Yes, that was Ignacio versus Abion.
Beyond, yes, that fight. Guys, the thing about being professional is you also have to follow the rules of the sanctioning body.
Correct.
Simply put, one of the fighters could not compete because they failed to comply with the mandatory rest period. Now, for everyone out there, for our listeners and for our fighters, the GAB requires a fighter to take a rest period of 45 days from their last professional bout.
Correct.
Now, unfortunately, one of the fighters that was booked for TNT1 fought a professional boxing match.
Yes.
14 days before he was supposed to fight in TNT.
Yes. That goes to show, I mean, I'll put it out there, yung mga Pinoy fighters, they want to fight.
They want to
fight as often as they can.
Dude,
but
tunay na tigas sila.
Exactly.
Diba?
But safety, fighter safety. Things
Yes.
we want to make sure that there's a reason why there's a mandatory rest period. And because of our focus on safety, that we had to cancel that bout. Like, as in, it's never, especially me building a fight card, wanting to see that fight and then it not happening. It sucks. But
Yeah.
Fighter safety.
I was looking forward to that bout, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make
We'll
it
see.
again.
But yeah, fighter safety comes first. Because guys,
Correct.
you're already getting, you're getting punched in the face.
Exactly.
These fighters are going at each other, hitting each other with full force. So, the least they can do for themselves is to make sure that they're healthy.
Correct.
And that's part of the contract. It's part of their obligation to take care of themselves. So, once these fighters have gotten their photos taken, and some of them get their videos taken, what can they expect come fight day? Let's start with the weigh-ins. Come weigh-in and then fight day.
The weigh-in, I would say, again, for the professionals, it's done by the Games and Amusement Board, because that is the sanctioning body. You have to make weight, you have to get there, and that's, before the fight, your main job is to make weight. Like, that's what you have to do. If you have to make weight, and then after you make weight, you got to show up. Like, that's what they need to focus on. And we want, like, going back and tying it into the kind of fighters that we're looking for, we want someone who is responsible enough to be able to do that. Because it is a pain in the ass if you do not make weight. I mean, it hasn't happened to us in a professional bout, thankfully.
Thankfully.
But I could just imagine, like, isn't just I see it happen in other organizations, and then it just can't. I'm just glad it hasn't happened to us, but that is what the fighters need to focus on.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. And then come fight night, they step into that ring and
Oh,
give us,
at the arena, they get the red carpet treatment. We take care, again, we take care of our fighters. We get them situated in the back. We make sure that they have everything they need to get warmed up and everything. We get them wrapped, and they get ready to put on a show.
yeah, a night of family-friendly sutukan.
Family friendly. Hashtag. Oh, man.
No, but seriously, dude, the last event, there were families there.
Yeah.
Like parents bringing the kids, people there with their siblings.
Correct.
It was a good time. It was fun. And a lot of that is because, everyone behind the scenes, works hard to make sure that everything is organized. And the fighters themselves, so far, they've been really, how do I say this? They've been really good at trying their best to follow the rules. Because no one's perfect. No one's perfect. And a lot of them aren't used to this setup.
Correct.
But they're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying. And, we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We appreciate
Absolutely. And I want to comment on the family friendly, right? Just putting it out there. TNT events, 16 years old and above. Just putting it out there.
Yes.
16 years old and above. We don't want you to show up and then it's a whole thing. So just because it is still, there's still some violence, and we do also serve alcoholic beverages. So we have to make sure that the kids
are safe.
Kids are safe. Safety first.
Safety first.
Oh, man. Whew. Well, I think, in terms of fighter experience, we got to reach out to the fighters. I think you guys know the cards. You've seen it. Reach out to them. Ask them how it was. We have nothing but good things to say about them. We hope they have nothing but good things to say about us. But on that note, Miguel, let's call it a day.
Let's call it a day, dude.
Thank you, sir. This is episode 2.
Episode 2.
In the books. We're signing out. Thank you so much.
I'm Miguel.
I'm James.
Handa ka na ba?